when we first talked about this topic a couple of weeks ago, one of the things you told me is that when you're trying to get a new technology implemented in-house, you really need to be a champion of that technology. So I think that would be a good place to start. Can you discuss a little bit about what exactly that means, and what are some of the things that you need to be thinking about when you're about to become a champion for a new technology?
Yeah, sure, Ed, and hello, everyone. So I think the critical thing, and apologies, I'm just, if you see me on the thing, just trying to work my microphone. There's some background noise in the hotel that I'm at, so my apologies. But I think to answer your question in terms of being maybe the originator and ultimately the champion of a particular exercise, is that you need to take any number of things into account. And first and foremost is to really to do a great job of identifying what's the underlying problem. And there may be one problem, there may be a series of problems. And looking for a technology or a group of technologies that will help solve it. You don't want to look around or try to undertake an exercise just for the sake of saying we want to do something different, or that we're going to spend money with the hope that it really can provide us with some value. You want to really think about that. You want to spend time with your peers, your colleagues, your managers, to make sure that that's something that that they agree needs to be solved, number one. Number two, as part of the overall exercise, I'm sure we'll get into during the course of this discussion, identifying the right choices in terms of what will fulfill that need. And then lastly, making sure that there's buy-in, not only from your colleagues and peers, but also from senior management at the beginning. And then when you embark on that road or that journey and serve in that role, be prepared, because there's a number of challenges and obstacles that you'll need to encounter. So Ed, I'm not sure if I'm answering your question very directly, but it's a very broad series of elements that one needs to consider when undertaking this, really, really important leadership role.
No, that's a great intro, and we will be getting into some of those challenges in just a little bit. I think that part of being a champion means building enthusiasm, and I think that's one of the things you probably need to do right from the start. Not so much, promise things that the technology can't deliver, but certainly building enthusiasm for it, for example, and getting everybody that's going to be using the technology and involved with it on board as well, and getting excited about it. How do you recommend doing that within your organization?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think first and foremost, one needs to be aware of organizational dynamics. I think we all work with people that we can rely on to provide support for us. There are those that tend to be a little bit more or less open-minded, perhaps, or need to be really, they need to see factual evidence of why something needs to be brought on. So to me, it's really about managing organizational dynamics, and a large part of that is managing the the key stakeholders. And again, some of those I mentioned just a few minutes ago: your peers, your colleagues, the people doing the work, or the people that will be affected by the technology. And then a critical component, I think, can't be emphasized enough, is to make sure that there is senior level or executive support for the endeavor. And there's really two parts of that. One is, if you have their leadership support, if you have executive sponsorship, oftentimes that road or that pathway that you'll be trying to bring your team up, or bring you or yourself and your colleagues along with, will be cleared, and will be fewer obstacles. Number two, it also helps manage the naysayers. And these are the people that always seem to crop up out of nowhere and always want to find reasons why something won't work, or tell you all the reasons why this won't be successful. And it's really, really important that you invest the time with those individuals so that you understand their concerns, and you really think about building factual evidence to help overcome some of their challenges. And to be honest, be open-minded, because sometimes there's things that they'll provide that you'll validate. In fact, those are concerns that you really should consider. So I think it's a group of those things, but I think first and foremost is make sure, as I said in the first question that Ed posed, is that you understand and identify what your challenge is and how that's going to be resolved, what the value will be, that will bring in terms of, finding a solution. And then number two, making sure you have senior leadership, if not executive leadership support.